I've got another build tip for you. This one concerns how to mount your OpenLog device, if you're going to run an OpenLog device, of course, without losing your SD card. A common problem is that the SD card bounces out of the OpenLog device on a crash because SD cards are only held in by friction, and normally they're not expected to be mounted on a quadcopter that goes spinning crazily through the air. Mostly it's when you crash, and if you've ever seen a quadcopter crash in line of sight, you know that they spin like crazy, they cartwheel, they tumble, and that can throw the card pretty badly. So the first thing that I do when I mount my OpenLog device is that I always mount it facing sideways, because I think that if you mount it facing backwards, then when the copter gets to spinning, it's more likely to get thrown out. Whereas here, when the copter gets to spinning, it's more likely to be pressed against the side of the copter, right? Or the side of the SD card. But then the other thing I do, here's how I mount it. It is mounted on a piece of foam tape, and that is more for cushioning than for sticking, although the sticking certainly helps. And then it is mounted with a zip tie around it, putting a little pressure on. So the idea here is that the foam tape keeps it from sliding around and the zip tie keeps it from flying away. And that combination, I find, together works really well. The foam tape also adds some vibration isolation, shock isolation, which protects the electronics from being damaged in a crash, or at least it certainly helps. But the way to keep the SD card from getting lost in a crash, it was really challenging. Some people use tape, and the problem that I have with that is it's not really reusable. The tape will eventually stop being sticky and stop working, and I hate that. I want something to be reusable. And I think I've come up with a pretty good solution. And the solution is that I've got this Velcro strap here, and I've just wrapped it around the body of the frame and passed it underneath the zip tie that's holding the OpenLog device on. And it's a little hard to see here. In fact, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but it's also going around the top. So essentially, the Velcro is making a sandwich out of the OpenLog device, and then the zip tie is going all the way around it. And that way, when I'm ready to fly, I can just go like that, and it stays. It stays pretty good. It doesn't need to be much. The OpenLog device is sort of surrounded there. The SD card is held in. It's not going anywhere. It's not held in so tightly that it ever gets pressed and popped out. Never happened. And when I'm ready to take it out, I just open this up and get in there and pop the card out, and I'm good to go. And everything stays nice and secure the rest of the time. So I think that's a pretty good solution. Pretty simple and reliable. So that's my tip to you for how to mount your OpenLog device. Mount it facing sideways, mount it on a piece of foam tape, and then use a zip tie, and then just sandwich a nice little piece of Velcro in there, and then you can just mount it like that. Open, closed. Easy. Okay, hope that's useful, hope that's helpful. Happy flying.